Welcome to your course summary. This is an overview of the module to allow you to make an informed decision when you're choosing which options and routes you want to go through to complete each level of your CII qualifications. LM2 course summary. London Market Insurance Principles and Practices. So Grace, do you want to tell us what's involved in this module?
Absolutely. So this is LM1 Part 2. It's a little bit more detailed than LM1, so please go into this particular module knowing that and don't skim over parts because you feel like you know them already. So in terms of chapters, we have 10 chapters altogether here. The first chapter really does look at some kind of key parts of LM1, so it recaps on the subscription market and then the structure of the London market, so you'll be familiar with that. Then it goes on to talk about the risks written in the underwriting kind of world in the London market, and this is very similar to chapter 3 in LM1, so it does go over some areas again, but in a lot more detail. There's then a bigger part about reinsurance. We also look at market security and rating agencies, and then a tiny bit of legal and regulatory bits, but not as much as LM1, you'll be pleased to know. It then goes on to talk a little bit about insurance intermediation, so talking about the role of a broker again and the law of agency, as well as underwriting and the key processes. So we look at the business processes that underwriters typically go through. Then finally, towards the end of the book, we look at delegated authority in a bit more detail, and then there's a big chapter at the end on claims handling.
So common reasons for sitting this module: if you're doing LM1, you'll need to do LM2, so it is a natural second choice for a lot of people. But also if you've done other modules and you've done your IF1 and you're interested to learn more about the London market, then this is one that you can add in there as your way of doing so, because you can't do IF1 and LM1.
So the setup to the exam is a little bit different from LM1. There's 55 what I call standard multiple choice questions where you're just picking 1 out of 4. The others are similar, but they are based on case studies. So we have 4 case studies which are about 3 to 4 paragraphs long, and they each have 5 questions attached to them. So that's a further 20 questions for the second part of this particular exam. You have 2 hours to complete this exam, and the pass mark is actually 70%.
An important thing to note if you're going on to LM2 following LM1, sometimes people find LM1 quite straightforward and then go into LM2 underestimating it and then suddenly find that this exam catches them a bit off guard. So often see that the people that found LM1 tricky will find LM2 easier because they are setting themselves up to do that bit of extra revision, and those people who found it easier will find this one quite a bit harder. The pass rate for LM2 is 77%, and it's 15 credits at CII level.